we will start with very pointers where some will first mention about uh, which profile are you really targeting. It also depends on in which year you are currently in and what are you targeting for. Either you are targeting an internship or you are targeting for a job, right? So keeping all these things in mind, we will get started with the resume building workshop. Once again, I welcome you all to this workshop. I am Rakesh Roshan and I am an alumni of IIT Madras. I have recently graduated from IIT Madras in the background of aerospace engineering. And now I am currently working as a management trainee at ICICI. So with this, we'll get started and move ahead. So first thing we will talk about that headline. Headline is very important as you uh, have to write very specific things in your headline, what roles you are applying for, and you start with your name, you put on your email ID, you also mention your LinkedIn profile, GitHub link. Let's say if you are a developer, then you also mention your phone number when you are applying for uh, out campus, and also mention your college name. So these are the some important points that you have to mention when you are applying for off campus job or off campus internships, because they need something to contact you back, right? So these are the points that you have to consider when you are mentioning it in the headline. Now moving forward, that you have to either put your photograph or not. I have seen a lot of resumes where they put their photographs, but when you are applying for some professional jobs, it is not required. You don't need to put up your photographs. But when you're applying for, let's say, some design or some other roles like acting, singing, in that scenario, you may want to put up your picture as well. But in most of the cases, it is not required. You can directly put up black and white A4 sheet paper in which you can write down all these points. Moving forward, let's say now you are applying for an internship or job. It will not matter. This point will be very common for both your educational background. So start with this section. What you will do, you have to mention your college, in which college you are, and what is the duration. Let's say if you are doing a BTech, then you will write, let's say, from 2018 to 2022 or something. So that duration you have to mention, and also you can mention your CGPA. All right, and then moving forward, you can also mention your school days, like your intermediate and school name and your CGPA. Then, after writing your educational background, you can move to the next section where you will write about your professional experience. So, what all things you have to put up in this particular section? Now, considering that you are applying for a job, so in that scenario, I would assume that you have already done certain internships and you have got some professional experience in that particular domain. So, what all things you have to mention here while writing professional experience? First, you need to write down the company name where you have interned or where you have get some experience or you have got some training. So write down the company name, write down the duration of your experience, like duration of your work, and then you will write about the project or the work kind of work you have done. So always keep three things in mind, that you have to put all these things in a pointer way, that uh, what is the outcome of that internship, what did you do exactly, what did you learn, right? So these things will actually help the recruiter to find out, okay, how was your experience and what have you learned and what are you willing to do. So these things will make things simpler. All right, so always remember to put it in a points rather than writing a huge long paragraph. Put it in a pointer. Now coming to your skills, this is very important section. where you have to write wisely what skills you want recruiter to focus on. Let's say you are good at n number of things. Let's say you are good at 100 skills, but you have to mention and you have to focus on skills that will give you opportunity in your domain, right? So don't write irrelevant skills, write very relevant and proper one. Let's say I am applying for a web development internship or job or software related job. So my technical skills or hard skills will be that I am good at this programming language. I am quite good at this data structure and algorithm. So I'll write all the relevant skills which will support me to get that job. And of course, let's say I want to go for a management kind of role. So in that case, my hard skills will be related to management. I hope you're getting my point very clearly. And then mention about your soft skills as well. So when you're talking about soft skills, you can mention intercommunication, you can mention your spoken, you can mention your presentation skills. So you can put all these skills and based on your role that you are applying for. Yeah, moving forward to the next section that you have to build is your extracurricular activities. So what you do in extracurricular activities, like you can mention about some competitions that you have been to, either you have won or got second prize, third prize, doesn't matter. You can mention, because you can always mention this is what I learned in this particular activity, right? You can mention if you play any sports, you can definitely mention that as well, because that shows the teamwork. If you're playing in a team, that shows the teamwork, and those things are very vital when you are joining a big company, right? Because you will be working in a bigger team, and if you're just an individual player cannot perform in a team, it becomes very difficult to fit in the culture of a big company, right? So your extracurricular activities is as important as your technical or core skills that you possess, right? So don't uh, forget this section, don't ignore this section. This is equally important. Please keep that in mind. Okay. Now coming to your position of responsibility. So in position of responsibility, uh, you can mention different positions that you have held in past. Like you have joined certain clubs and you have become a coordinator or heads or a core. So you can write about all these things. And let's say you have done certain startup, you can also mention about that as a responsible position of responsibility. You may write down as a founder. That is what I did in my resume. I will also show that to you after some time. After covering all the basic points, I will take you through my resume, what all points I have mentioned there. Okay. All right, so that was regarding clubs, and you can also mention, let's say you are a part of some different committee and you are having a good responsibility there as well. You can mention that also. Now, your scholastic achievements, right? So this is, of course, a very booster point, which will show what all things you have done in past. So yes, you can boost yourself, but again, do not exaggerate. Keep that thing in mind as well. All right, so you can, it depends. You can mention about your hobbies and interest, but it is not required. This is not a mandatory field. Uh, so I will not force you to write everywhere, but yeah, if you want, you can write somewhere, and somewhere you can skip also. So now I'll come to a point where you have to uh, make different resumes for different profiles. Let's say some people apply for different profiles. They are not just looking for a one particular profile. Let's say as a software developer, some people may look for software development a role as well, plus machine learning, plus uh, what I can say management role as well. So if you are applying for different roles, you should prepare your resume accordingly. One resume will not work for all the profiles, right? So what you have to do, you need to modify things as per your requirement, as per your roles. So, and that is how you can compete with other students who are just applying for that particular role. So you need to modify things as per the role. So that is what is my suggestion. Now, if you have any questions, you can also put up in the chat box and I will go through it. All right. And then I will take you through my own resume. All right. All right. All right. So now I'll just quickly take you through my own resume. All right, so let me take you through my own resume where I have started with. This is a template. Again, this template will vary as per your college. So this is for IIT Madras students, where this they follow a general and particular template which is provided by the college itself. So every college provides such templates, so you can just follow up your template and put up your details. So moving forward, here I have mentioned my personal details like name and roll number, and then my college name. Here I have also put up my LinkedIn profile. Now moving forward, like I mentioned, you can put up your education details here. So here you can see this is a dual degree program I have done from IIT Madras. So moving further to the next section where I mentioned about my professional experience. So here you see I have done certain internship at different companies which I have mentioned. And like I said, you have to not write in a paragraph, rather than writing in a paragraph, you can write it in a pointers, so that it becomes very easy for them to read out the points and understand it, right? Like I did social media management internship at easemytrip.com. So at easemytrip I just did that. So what is the outcome of that internship? I said, okay, I led a team of 20 plus students where we focused to promote easemytrip and all. So this is how you can write down what you did and focus on the keywords, focus on the outcome, what you did. Okay, so you can get an idea, pretty fair idea, what I did there from the internship. And now moving to the next section, yeah, I have also written about entrepreneurship. So I have written about my startup journey. What did I get from it? See, so many pointers I have written. So this will actually present your leadership skills, and also it will show that you are a person who can manage a team, who can work in a team, and the person who is an all-rounder. Now moving forward, position of responsibility. So in this section you can mention all your clubs related activities that you have been a coordinator or heads or vice president or president, anything you can mention here. So that will be sufficient. Key skills or skills you can mention here, that is very important. That again changes as per your roles, that will be keep on changing. Now, extracurricular activities, I participated in certain competitions, and I also I was there in NCC. So that I have also mentioned here. and what was the outcome. Again, everywhere you write what you did and what was the impact. That is the way you have to write down. And again, moving forward, there was again a section for the project. So what all projects I did, this will be important when you are talking about core related job. Like if you are doing some core related project, that will be definitely helpful. So yeah, this was a quick glance of my resume.